Welcome back to another explainer from Forge College. So, in our last lesson, Foundations of Access Control Validation, you did a great job locking the front door of your smart contracts. You made sure absolutely only the right people hold the keys. But, what if the house itself is built with faulty wiring? Well, today, we're building the automated security system that checks literally every single brick before it gets laid. We're diving right into an introduction to continuous integration for smart contracts. Real quick, here's our agenda for today. First, we'll meet your automated bouncer. Then we map out the CI pipeline stages. After that, we'll see how to use Hardhat and Foundry together, weigh speed versus depth trade-offs, and finally, look at catching bugs early. Let's look at the blueprint of this automated factory line, charting exactly how we keep flawed code far, far away from your main branch. All right, section 1. Meet your automated bouncer, gatekeeping your code. I want you to think of continuous integration as an uncompromising robotic bouncer standing right outside the VIP club of your deployment branch. If your code isn't on the list, or honestly, if it's acting even a little suspicious, it is just not getting in. So what is it exactly? Well, continuous integration, or CI, is basically automation that runs tests, static checks, and artifact builds automatically on every single push or pull request. It's there to ensure correctness and safety. Honestly, CI is the absolute ultimate anxiety relief tool for developers. Instead of you sweating and trying to run every test manually before deploy, this bouncer automatically gatekeeps your code before it can ever even touch the blockchain. And why do we need such a strict bouncer? Well, because of this fundamental truth. Smart contracts run on immutable ledgers, meaning mistakes are expensive. Remember, folks, smart contracts are permanent. If you push a typo to mainnet, yikes, it's there forever, haunting your wallet for all eternity. Which is exactly why we build this CI machine in the first place, so that your expensive mistakes happen safely in a disposable cloud environment, not on Ethereum. Moving to section 2, the CI pipeline stages. The multi-stage factory. Because our automated bouncer doesn't just do one quick pat down, right? It actually runs your code through a highly rigorous, multi-stage factory testing line. Let's map out these discrete stages. We start with pre-flight checks, tools like ESLint and Prettier. That's basically checking if your code's shirt is tucked in. Then unit tests, using Hardhat or Foundry for fast pass or fail traces. Next up, integration or fork tests to see how your contract actually plays with the real world. Then we bring in the heavy hitters. Static analysis using tools like Slither to find those really sneaky vulnerabilities, and fuzzing to just throw random chaos at your code. And finally, coverage and artifacts to pack up the compiled bytecode securely. The really crucial point here is the sequential journey of your code. Step 1, pre-flight checks for syntax. Step 2, fast isolated unit tests. Step 3, integration tests on forked state. And Step 4, deep static analysis and fuzzing. Your code journeys through these steps sequentially, ensuring correctness, safety, performance, and reproducibility at every single gate. If it trips up anywhere, boom, the conveyor belt stops immediately. Okay, section 3, Hardhat and Foundry together, using both frameworks. This is powerful because, why choose just one testing framework when you can harness the power of both? Let's examine a concrete blueprint of how to actually wire up GitHub Actions to run both JavaScript-based Hardhat and Rust-based Foundry tests in a single CI run. Here are the core components of that GitHub Actions workflow. First, we trigger the workflow on push or pull request before merging. We use a setup job to centralize node installation and cache dependencies. Now that cache key is absolutely vital. It uses a package lock fingerprint so you don't waste precious minutes downloading the entire internet every single time. Then we run Hardhat tests and Foundry tests as parallel jobs. And for Foundry, we safely inject secrets for fork RPCs. By separating your toolchains into parallel jobs and caching dependencies aggressively, we keep the pipeline incredibly fast and efficient. And guys, this is a simple but frankly brilliant trick. Standardize your package JSON. By writing a script like CI equals npm run lint and npm run test Hardhat and npm run test Foundry, your CI workflow can call just a single entry point. Standardizing your local scripts like this means ensuring that failures in the cloud perfectly reproduce on your local machine, so you can finally say goodbye to the whole, well, it worked on my machine excuse. Let's move to section 4, speed versus depth, balancing constraints. This is critical because as much as we love thorough testing, we also really love not waiting around all day for a build to finish. If you tried running every possible test on every single commit, it would grind your factory line to a complete halt. You'd literally be waiting hours just to fix a tiny typo. So we have to engineer a balance. You want fast initial feedback, like your pre-flight and unit tests, on every push to preserve developer velocity. Meanwhile, you gate the slower, highly non-deterministic checks, like massive fuzzing runs and integration tests, behind pull requests for release candidates or nightly builds. It's all about being smart with your balancer's time. Finally, Section 5, catching bugs early, evidence in debugging. When the bouncer inevitably rejects a piece of code, and trust me, it's gonna happen, CI must provide clear evidence so you can fix the issue rather than just, hitting an opaque brick wall. This evidence gathering starts with a deterministic build. By definition, this is a build process that yields exactly the same output, like bytecode, across different machines by locking down compiler and optimizer flags. Setting deterministic compiler flags in your repository prevents those subtle, totally infuriating bytecode differences between the CI runner-up in the prod and your laptop sitting right there on your desk. To really make CI your best friend, follow these practical principles for CI evidence. Upload Hardhat test logs for failing traces so you can actually read the stack trace. Generate Foundry coverage reports like LCOV. Persist compiled bytecode and ABIs as artifacts. Treat critical static analysis findings from tools like Slither as strictly blocking. And please, enforce timeouts to prevent hung tests from eating up all your CI minutes. By uploading logs and artifacts, your CI runs leave a traceable audit trail, transforming an annoying failure into a highly actionable debugging session. So here is my final provocative question for you. Are you ready to design a custom CI/CD pipeline tailored to your project's specific deployment gates? This mental model prepares you perfectly for our next lesson on CI/CD pipeline design. I hope this explainer made the whole concept of continuous integration clear, structured, and hey, maybe even a little fun. Be sure to head over to forge.college to learn more about this and other Web3 related topics. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer from Forge College, and I will see you next time.